systems of equations are actually, from what I saw in the test, easier than I thought they'd be, especially since you have your graphing calculator. The only questions that would be asked on the non-calculator part are ones like here at the end, where it shows you a graph and it just asks you like what the x values that are equal to it. We'll do that last. We'll do this in order. But the ones that are on the calculator are pretty straightforward since you have a graphing calculator on the test. Hope you guys got used to using it. I'll show you kind of all the buttons you need to press, all right, to make your life a little bit easier. So here, this would be on the calculator portion. We're going to graph this, and then we're going to decide what values of x does f of x equal g of x. So here's my system. F of x equals x squared plus 4x minus 5, and g of x equals negative absolute value of x plus 2 minus 3. So what I'm going to do is let the calculator do all the hard work. So let me first find the paper with the questions on it. Alright, so I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to type in these functions. So I'm just going to clear all this stuff here. Your y equals, clear anything that's there. Actually, yeah, the y equals. Alright, we're going to type in our functions. We have x squared plus 4x, and then minus 5. And then hit enter, and we'll go to the next equation. So it's negative. Now, oops, not the minus sign. You gotta be careful, by the way. If you hit the minus sign instead of negative, it might give you an error, or vice versa if you hit the negative instead of hitting the minus sign when you want to. If you get an error like that, it might be because of one of those things. So be careful. But I'm gonna hit negative because it's a negative. I need to type in absolute value. So to type in absolute value, you go to your math button right here. Go over to number. And then the very first option, ABS, stands for absolute value. So let's select that. You can see you get the absolute value bars pop up. So we'll type in x plus 2. All right, make sure you use the arrow to get out of the absolute value bars and then put minus 3. Again, be careful not to put a negative sign instead of a minus sign. Those two buttons are very similar, but the calculator reads them differently. Okay? All right, so now we could graph it if we wanted to. I don't really think we care to graph it. You can see the graph if you like. But the important thing is not the graph, because we're going to make it ourselves, is the table. So to go to the table, hit second, and then hit the graph button again, but it says it takes you to the table. So this is where all the important information lies. Okay? So I'm going to scroll back up to basically points that I can graph. And you can see a handful of them here. Okay? So all these points are points too far. Okay, I spammed the button, and now it's doing this thing. So, oops. Okay, I'm gonna spam it again, but less spamming. So, might get to where I need to go. All right. Anyway, so you see all these values here. I put the table on your paper so you could copy them down on your paper and then graph them. But on the test, you can just go straight to graphing them. So let me do that. So let's go to our graph. Where to go? Here. Okay. The table, you can plug in different values in the table. The way I've set it up is that your x values could be here, and I don't remember what I used. I think I used negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1. For f of x column was 0, negative 5, negative 4, negative 5, negative 3, negative 8, negative 2, negative 9, negative 1, negative 8, 0, negative 5, and 1, 0. All right, so there's just points, and then the absolute value one was negative 5, negative 6, negative 4, negative 5, negative 3, negative 4, negative 2, negative 3, and then negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. I just copied it down. That's what was in the calculator, but plot your points. So the quadratic, negative 5, 0, is a point there. Negative 4, negative 5, so it's a point there. -3, -8, -2, -9, -1, -8, 0, -5, and then 1, 0. So these are points for the quadratic. Now in terms of how to do this on the computer, I know you guys explored a little bit with how to type those functions in. Just plot the points, connect the points, and that should be good enough. Again, these are being graded by people. Granted, they're probably idiots. However, I think an idiot could still make sense of something with points on it that are connected with lines. So you could try that, okay? Hopefully they won't mark you wrong. I don't know how you graph a quadratic on that program otherwise, okay? So there's that, and then let's put the absolute value one. So -5, -6, -4, -5, -3, -4, -2, -3, right? So those are the points. Again, do the same thing, plot the points, connect them with little lines, make sure there's arrows on them probably, and you're good to go. So there's your graph. Now, part B says what values of x is f of x equal g of x. So that just means where the functions cross. You can see they cross here and here. So that's at x equals to -4, and this one is at x equals to 0. So your two answers are at x equals -4 and x equals 0. Okay? But the most important thing is making sure you know how to use the calculator. So for number 1, just to type it in your calculator, okay, go back to your y equals. All right, let's clear out what I put there before. Let's type in these functions. So it's -x squared, so make sure you hit -x squared plus 2x plus 3. All right, and then the second equation is absolute value. So remember, to go to absolute value, you hit math, arrow over to number, and it's right here. So one of those things you're going to have to, oops, it's in the wrong row though, so I got to delete that. Okay, hit enter after you put it in. All right, now we're ready. So math, number, and then the first option is ABS for absolute value. So there it is, x minus 1. X minus 1. Again, make sure you use the right sign. Don't accidentally hit the negative if you're not supposed to hit negative. Then -2. X minus 1 minus 2. All right. Again, you could graph it if you want to see what your graph looks like. It's somewhat helpful. So you know, but don't try to just look at the graph and then plot it on yours on the computer. You want to make sure it's precise. So to do that, go to second and then graph it. Go to your table. That way you can plot the points more accurately. Okay, so you've got the table there. You can copy those points down on your paper, but plot them accurately on your graphing paper as well. Again, where f of x equals g of x is where the lines cross. So what x values do they cross out? Okay, just like we did in the example. The last thing will be something you'd see on the non-calculated portion, which basically means they give you the system already. And I know that this graph is not showing up on your screen very well, but it's the same thing. What are the x values for the solutions to the system? So the solutions are where the lines cross. So again, they're crossing here and they're crossing here. So roughly that's about x equals to -6, and then here it's about x equals to -1. All right, again, I say about because my graph's not a very clear graph, but I would say that's probably about right. X equals -6 and x equals -1. So just look at where they cross. Where's the x value at? Okay, that's really all there is. Not a whole lot of thinking involved. Okay, that's going to end it, guys. I hope it helps. Again, ask me in class if you need anything. Other than that, good luck in your exam. Goodbye.